Yo, what's good, gamers of the internet? Today I have the deck that I have just got first place at locals with, and it is Bystial branded Despia. Branded Despia is one of my favorite decks of all time, and the Bystial cards are so crazy in this deck, and I feel like a lot of people are really hyping the Bystial cards up for decks that aren't branded Despia, which makes sense. They're incredible cards, really busted. You should pick them up, but in branded Despia specifically, cards are crazy. Let's go straight into the deck profile. So this is the deck I got first with at locals. I'll cover the sideboard at the end because the sideboard like depends on like your local metagame. And then I'll do the extra later as well. So let's start with our hand traps. We play 3 Droll, 3 Ash. Ash is probably the most blanket hand trap. Usually this is played as a 3 of. The reason we're on Droll instead of Bell or Nib is because if I were at a higher level event, I probably would be maining like 2 Cosmic and a Duster here, or like maybe like Nib or Bell in the main. But when you're at like a regional or a local level event, I feel like maining Droll is better because Droll hits a lot more of those rogue strategies that you're going to see at those lower level tables. Obviously, in the higher level tables, you're going to want to be siding in those better hand traps or those better out cards. But I think for a local level event or a regional level event, Droll's one of the most blanket hand traps you can have. So we're just running Ash and Droll because they're a very nice duo that is very generic into most decks. For the Despia package, we play 1 Dramaturge, 1 Ad Libitum, 2 Eluber, 2 Tragedy. Not too much to say here. This is fairly standard. The 1 Dramaturge and the 1 Ad Libitum. If you use them, this guy's a monster negate. This guy comes back. They both come back if you use them. That's nice. Eluber, busted, but you don't want to see it too much because you typically want to be specialing this off of branded openings, so you only want to play 5 copies of it. Basically, the two monsters and then the 3 spells. 2 Tragedy. Some people only play 1 Tragedy, and I think that's fine. But I like playing 2 just because like sometimes in the grindier games it comes up multiple times. And just both of his effects are nice. The Sent to Graveyard or Banished effect adds a Despia monster, but then also you can banish him from the grave to set a branded support trap, which is very nice. Especially with the Bystials, because like if you don't have Lubellion, you can like Dramaturge. You can go into like Lubellion or something by like sending Tragedy and Fallen of Albaz, and then like banish the Tragedy in order to get the branded beast set to your field. If you're playing against mine, I feel like that's one of the better plays you can make because branded beast is a searchable out to mine we have, but we have to make sure you play it properly. I'll explain that when we get to the Bystials, which are the next cards. So for the Bystials, we play 3 Magnuma, 3 Druisworm, 2 Saronir, and 1 Lubellion. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that Lubellion's not that good. This card's like really well. Okay, let me correct that. This card's really crazy, but you have 500 ways to get to it. You can search it off your Magnuma, you can pitch it off your Saronir, and then just like special him back. And like, sure, if they crow it, whatever. But if they crow it, cool. You have rebranded. You just throw it back and then search it again off the Magnuma. I think in some decks, like in Dragon Link, maybe you want to play more of him. But I think Lubellion's only a 1 of personally. Originally, I was only on 1 Saronir, but Saronir is really good when you realize he's basically just Magnuma. We do have another card that like so. Let me start over. Magnuma. When you're using it, you usually want to be searching one of these, either another Magnuma, Druisworm, or Saronir, or we have another card I'll get into that we can search. You don't really want to be searching Lubellion. Lubellion is a lot better when it's in your graveyard and uses effect to special him back. That's where Saronir comes in. You can Magnuma, search Saronir. Saronor's another DD Crow. You DD Crow, Saronir, you get rid of Saronir, Saronir effect, send Lubellion, Lubellion, tribute off the Magnuma you had from getting the Saronir, and Lubellion's live. So, yeah. And then also, if you open Lubellion, you can just pitch himself to grab any of these. Typically, you grab Magnuma because Magnuma searches everything, and you don't need Saronir at that point. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, Druisworm. So, I'll explain these since they're new. Lubellion, you can ditch it from your hand to add a dragon monster from your deck to your hand. Is it a Bystial? Yeah, one Bystial. One Bystial from your hand. And then he also has the effect, during the main phase, you can place a branded continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on the field, which is really, really nice. Two Sarnor. Sarnor, if you, they all have the first, except for Lubellion, they all have the first effect to DD Crow. So Sarnor allows you to DD Crow, and then if he's sent to the graveyard, you get to send a branded spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard or one Bystial monster. Three Druis Worm. Druis Worm has the DD Crow effect, and then also, if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to target one special summon monster your opponent controls and send it to the graveyard. Send it to the graveyard, does not destroy it. Three Magnuma. I think most people know what this does, but if you don't, again, DD Crow, and then when it's summoned, you activate the effect to, on end phase, search for a dragon monster. So when he comes out, whenever, you then activate the effect, and your opponent has to respond then, or at end phase, the effect will resolve and you'll search your dragon if he's on board. And he searches any dragon. So on to our engine cards. We just played the two Fallen of Albaz. Not a whole lot to say about this boy. He's the GOAT. Sometimes it comes up to normal him. If you're playing against Tier or if you're playing against the Mirror or like Sprite or any of those decks, if you just normal him, you bait and negate by just like normal him, discard something like bad in your hand, because usually you only really need one or two cards in your hand to play with this deck. Everything else is just whatever. That's where the Bystials are so good, because like they give you other stuff to do with your hand. So like if your hand's like whatever, like your hand's good, you just like normal him, discard like anything, and then your opponent has to like respond, or you're just gonna like super poly away their dudes. All right, onto our two tech cards. This is crazy. These cards literally won me most of my games. The first one is Archlord Christia, and the second one is Archnemesis Ishatos. So I'll explain Christia first. Everybody who thinks Ra's Disciple is good is actually just wrong. This card is just better. This card, like, Ra's Disciple is like, you're giving it to your opponent so they can just like go battle phase, crash it or something, like whatever. Christia is a big body that's gonna come to your side of the field, because why would you give your opponent something off Branded Expulsion? When you go Masquerade, you can like Masquerade, have Expulsion set, use Expulsion, getting rid of your Albion that you used to make Masquerade, bring back Aluber and Christia. Cool, Aluber search, Christia, like your opponent's locked. Good luck. Like, cool, how can you out this without normaling? Okay, you're gonna like commit a bunch of stuff, whatever. I have my Bystial monsters, right? Like it doesn't matter. So usually if your opponent has an out to Christia, they'll play. If not, they'll just scoop. But if they have an out to Christia, they spend so many resources getting to it that it's like, cool, I have like all these other useless cards in my hand, aka Bystials, like I'll just like go crazy. Like whatever, that's fine. Ishatos is what we're searching off Magnuma a lot of the time, unless it just doesn't come up. What he does is you can special him by banishing 3 monsters with different types from your graveyard and or face up field. He can't be destroyed by card effects, and you can declare 1 monster type on the field, destroy all monsters with the same type. Also, until the end of the next turn, neither player can special summon monsters with that type. You can only use this effect of Archnemesis Protos, Ishatos once per turn. So once per turn, you just get to call a type, blow up everything. Your opponent can't. Neither player can special summon that type. Fuck it, who cares? When this card hits the board, you've pretty much already won. So if you're playing against Tier, you just call Aqua. If you're playing against anything that uses the Bystials as a crutch, like you can call Dragon, whatever, he'll die. Like, but he can't be destroyed by card effects, so he'll be fine. So like you might lose like a Magnamut or something, but Magnamut will still resolve on end phase to give you your search. So who the fuck cares? Yeah, this card's busted. And these are also like our light targets for Albion. Before I was playing one Ecclesia, and you don't need Ecclesia anymore because she was cool because she could like filter back to your hand for like a discard basically. But now you have all these light targets. Like most of the time you want Christia, but if you open Christia and you can't ditch it to the grave with like opening or something, you can like branded fusion to get rid of Lubellion, and then Lubellion becomes live. And then Ishatos, you usually never want to branded fusion away, but if you play into a match that this card's just dead, and like you open this and you have like the combo to get this to the grave with the Bystials, you can just like super poly. You can just branded fusion this away too, because it doesn't matter at that point. Usually Ishatos is a live card though. I will say he comes up more than not, and he's searchable off your Magnuma. So that's it for the monster lineup. For the spell and trap lineup, we play one Foolish, one Called By, because these are just staple, like, good cards. Foolish to send your, Tragedy, because Tragedy's a start, like, Foolish alone is full combo. If you have Tragedy, like, if you don't want to Foolish for Tragedy, you can Foolish off, Lubellion too. One Branded Regained. Branded Regained's crazy. If a light or dark monster is banished, you get to put that to the bottom of the deck. You get to target one of the monsters that was banished, put it to the bottom of the deck, draw a card. So that's insane. You also have another effect where once per turn, when your opponent normals or special summons a monster, you get to target one Bystial in your grave, special it. And you can only activate that effect once per chain, but it's once per chain. Like, you're never going to run out of Bystials, right? Because your opponent outs them, it's like, okay, cool, Branded Regain, special. Okay, you're going to special again. Okay, chain, Branded Regain, special. Like, it is insane. And I believe, yeah, all of the effects of the Bystials are if there's, well, Magnet's if he's specialed. The rest are if they're sent to the grave. But Magnet's if he's specialed, not if he's specialed by his effect. So you can special back off Branded Regain, get the search. Which is just fucking crazy. You only play one because you search it off Lubellion, like always. 3 opening, this card's nuts. Everybody knows draw phase, opening, discard special, Luber, search Branded Fusion. Or if you already opened Branded Fusion, you search Expulsion, and that way you don't have to search it off of Tragedy. 2 Branded in red, incredible card. I literally got debarriered so many times, and I'd be like, okay, opening a Luber search Branded in red, okay, like, Bystial combo a little bit, cool, I have like 3 bodies, set Branded in red, go ahead. And then like, I'll chain Branded in red to whatever they do, make Masquerade, and they're like, okay, whatever. This card's crazy. Or you can like make Mirror Jade too, but usually I just make Masquerade because Masquerade, a lot of people don't like playing through Masquerade and Bystials. And whichever Floodgate I have on board, whether it's Christia or Shatos. 3 Branded Fusion, this card's nuts. If you draw this card, it's just crazy. To be honest, I find myself, like, this card's crazy, and a lot of people were calling for this to get banned when it came out. I don't think anybody gives a shit anymore, but I will say Branded Fusion now is, like, because you're getting debarriered so often, I would argue, like, Branded Fusion is good, but, like, it's necessary. You have to play it, but, like, if you get shut down, it doesn't matter, because you just have, like, all these other, like, follow-ups, especially with the Bystials. Also, Branded Regained works off your like your Albion Banish too. 2 Branded Beasts. This is our searchable out to mine. This card's insane. You tribute if you can during the main phase. If you control Bystial, you tribute 1 dragon. You control target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. This is out to mine. If we go first, we set this special Bystial by banishing our own dude. We don't care. And then yeah, Bystial stuff. And then during the end phase, you get to target a branded continuous spell or trap. Place it face up on the field. So if they out your Branded Regained, you just get it back. Okay, and then our last 2 main deck cards are 1 Branded Banishment, 1 Expulsion. Banishment gets us like Mirror Jade by fusing with our opponent's stuff. Expulsion is how we get to Christia by just tributing off like our Albion, which is usually our first card. We tribute off Albion, get Christia the Luber back. The Christia and the Luber back that we use to make Masquerade. And that's it for our main deck. We'll go to the extra deck, and then I'll go over my side deck. The side deck's pretty interchangeable, again, depending on what event you're going. 1 Starving Venom Dragon, super poly target. 1 Dragus Tapelia, super poly target. Starving Venom actually doesn't have to be a super poly target. Sometimes this card comes up. Dragus Tapelia doesn't have to be a super poly target, but usually it is. Mud Dragon, super poly target. Garura, super poly target. Trifio Vertum, super poly target. These are literally just our super poly targets. We don't play any non-fusions because they just don't really work with the deck. I tried Draco Berserker and a Branded and High Spirits with Cartesia engine for a bit. I just didn't really like it. But I see the merit in it. 1 Quertus. Quertus is crazy. He changes the attack of everything to 0. Really nice if you're going to lose. I never made him, but like in theory, if you're in a losing spot, he can help win the game. 2 Masquerade, this card's insane. You're literally always making Masquerade in the combo. Sometimes you can make double Masquerade if your hand's actually insane. Well, you make 1 on your turn and 1 on your opponent's turn. And then, like, well, your opponent's paying 12 for every action they make. Good luck. 2 Lubellion, this could be 1. I played 2 because I was playing extra for a bit, but also there's nothing really better that I'd, like, cut it for. But, like, he comes up to get your materials back, but now that we have Branded Regained, we don't really need him that. He's still good for Mirror Jade plays if we go into Mirror Jade. 2 Mirror Jade. This card used to be the bread and butter deck. I don't really think we make this too much now. This is like something that we like branded banishment for. We don't really like care if we use our own stuff for this anymore, unless we're like sometimes like you need exactly Mirror Jade to win, and so you'll make exactly Mirror Jade with like Lubellion and like banishing, throwing back banished cards. And then for the last card 3, Albion. This card's the fucking goat. If this card dies, the deck dies. I don't think they'll hit anything in this deck though. But yeah, Albion's actually saucy. You make this so often in the game. The combo is really simple. It's literally like you make Albion, right? So you have like a Luber, Christia, Albaz, Luber, and then like any way to get to expulsion, which is like tragedy. If you drew branded if you drew branded fusion, you search it off a Luber, or you like can tragedy for it. But like typically, this is what we're looking at, right? We used these to make Albion, and then we'll use Albion effect, banishing a Luber and Christia for Masquerade, and then like that's it. Like this is the end board, and that doesn't look too good. But then like we flip expulsion on our opponent's turn. We go special Luber, special Christia, effective Luber, search whatever you need at this point. You can search Beast, you can search Banishment, you can search Fusion, you can search Branded in Red, you can search Opening, you can search Branded Regained, you can search literally whatever you need off this Luber. But usually at this point, your opponent will just scoop because they have to like. Usually, if they out Christia, it's gonna take a lot of stuff unless they have like exactly Regeki, which is like okay, cool. Which if they or like exactly Imperm, but whatever, that's fine. Like we have Masquerade, and usually like this is all off just a branded fusion. So like you'll have like four or five cards in your hand still, which is what like the Bystials are for. Play on your opponent's turn. And that's it for the deck, guys. Oh yeah, let me show you the side deck really quick. The side deck's really dependent on like whatever your event you're going to, but I'll cover it. 3D barrier for like the mirror, like tier, or just like random matchups. This card comes up. 3 super poly. This card's always gonna be good. If this card's at 3, it should always be in a main or side deck. Card outable boards. 2 cosmic, 1 duster. If I was going to a YCS or higher than a regional level event, I'd cut the 3 droll, side deck the droll, and main these. 3 nib, 3 bell. If you didn't want to main these, you could like main one of these 2 as well. I just like to main these because even though we have a searchable out to mine, if mine goes first, like our searchable out doesn't really do anything. So yeah, so obviously we can't search it with monsters that aren't there. We can't special the Bystials under mine, so yeah, I would main these in the bigger event and then side in the drolls if need be. But that being said, guys, that is the deck. Thank you so much for watching. I love branded, and it's probably like one of my favorite decks. So if you want to see more branded profiles in the future, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out my channel, share the video, and I will see you all next time. Peace.